So this morning, I wanted to bring Mercy Tucker back in. So some of you already know her if you were at the next big thing, but if you weren't, you might not. And I wanted to highlight what we accomplished at the next big thing, but really even bigger than that, I want to highlight the other thing that was happening on the same day as the next big thing. Mm-hmm. Separate from us, there were lives that were being changed by the power that has come to be from Project ICU and the love and compassion that you show these women. Mm-hmm. So, Mercy, just really quickly, what is your role and who is Project ICU and Shared Power?
So I am the founder and director of Project ICU. We're a 501c3 organization that we actually got our start in 2009 in the Dominican Republic. We now have an empowerment center there. Came into Denver in 2013, started working with women here. Shared Power is an initiative underneath Project ICU, and this initiative is bringing $10,000 grants to women to become first-time homeowners, and it's also supporting and backing up business owners. It is taking off right now. We are getting applicants. This week we got 5 applicants. So we are just in this place of just wanting to say yes to all of them, and it's all just about all of us coming together to do it together.
So $10,000, business owners, homeowners. I don't know that I follow if I don't know you. I know you. Mm-hmm. So how does a woman come into your sphere, into your circle, and what are they looking to achieve when they do reach out to you?
So application is it's really simple. I mean, we end up finding women really from all over the city. We're working with organizations like Warren Village, like GES Coalition, like Cross Purpose. So organizations that are already getting women and families stable, and then this is just their next step, right? It's like This is where they can actually see ownership. And I think we all know that there's nothing like ownership that changes life. I mean, we just all know that and see that, and this is a way to make that happen. Mm-hmm. So once they do come to us, it's an easy application process online on our website. They get, every single one of them get interviewed so we really can see them and understand their situation. And then from there, if it does really feel like they meet our criteria, which our criteria really comes down to, it's women who have no financial backup. Like, they have no way of having anything, we say that they're backup to everyone, but then they are the backup, and then they have nothing, right? No backup. And I always am so aware of, I know for myself, I know for most of us, that we didn't get to where we are without some kind of backup. We took that step to buy a home. We took that step to own a business because somebody was back there going, I got you if this doesn't. And these are women who don't have that. And so we just want to make sure that we all have that we all have access to that, right? And then once they do get accepted, we see them through the entire process. Like, we are there answering all the questions, getting them resources, if it's a realtor, if it's a lender, and we see them all the way through to closing. Move in, home setup. I mean, we're just there. I think most of the women are saying to us, I just feel like I've got a community, like I'm not alone, and that has been everything. Being
raised by a single mom, and mostly renting my entire life since my mom and dad got divorced, the idea of getting into the stability of home ownership, right? All of a sudden now it's safety. Now I have a place to come home to. I have a place to raise my kids. I have safety. Mm-hmm. And there's such a deep-rooted need in us to have that sense of safety that it goes beyond just having the roof over your head, or even the appreciation opportunities, the wealth building opportunities. All these things almost seem pie in the sky without safety first.
Yes.
Right?
I totally agree. And I feel like what I'm aware of is that, already we have seen 11 women move into homes, right? It's like when we've seen 12 business owners receive this grant, 23 women have received the grant. And out of all of what you're saying about safety, out of all of that, I feel like that is what it comes down to. And from that place, I feel like they're all saying, we have to see this happen for more women. Now that we know that, let's just see this happen all over our city. And every one of them, I could tell you story after story about how every one of them are giving back. Yeah.
And these are already givers, though. You identified 11 women that you pinpointed it, and I hadn't ever heard you say this before. They were the backup for other people, right? Because it is that spirit, and those are the people that are drawn to you and that you draw. I think, I believe fully that you can cast a vision so strong, it literally draws you towards it. You don't even have to really take action. You have to proceed, and you have to continue to put one step in front of the other, but the vision actually starts to create itself, which is sort of what's happening here, right?
It is.
And to have these 11 women that have become then cheerleaders and loudspeakers for the very thing that you're giving them,
Yes.
now you've got a position where you've got a waiting list.
We've got a waiting list. We've got like 40. I mean, like I said, yes, almost 50 women that are in process with us and waiting. Some of them that could close this week if we were able to, come through. And we are doing everything we can to do that, to see as many women receive it for sure. I feel the same way about you, even just with the vision that you put forth with the next big thing. Like, I feel like there was I keep saying the word is elevate. Like, you just elevated everything for realtors, lenders, for everyone in the industry. And as that happens, it's like we all can come together, to do great things. It's like as one boat rises, all the boats rise. Yeah.
So what's your goal for 2023? How many women?
So we, it feels like I may just be blowing past whatever my goal was, because I'm like, as we keep moving. I said $300,000. I was hoping for 30 women this year.
Okay.
We started with 10. To 2022, we said 22 women for 2022. This year we said, I honestly wonder if we just needed to double. We needed to say more like 40. And even, I have this list right here at the next big thing. 20 captains signed up. And what a captain is someone who's either going to individually or on a team raise $10,000. And 20 people signed up to do that. I mean, if that comes about, that's $200,000, right? Like,
right
that's
there.
what we're going to see.
From one day.
From one day. And so we would love to see even more captains come, and I feel like there is something about this industry, about realtors, about lenders, that you all see it firsthand like nobody else, like what it actually means. And I think so many in the industry are like, if I could do this for a woman, for someone that is the least likely to get into a home this year. I'm going to see however many people get into homes this year, but if I could do this for those that are least likely, like, let's do it. So thankful.
And you know what touches my heart about what you do? It's not so much the single woman, although my heart goes to women who are trying to break through their barriers, right? Their chains. But it's the single mom that really gets me, because I think about the fact that I know with 100% certainty my mom had nothing but the desire to make the next generation better. And she was working from a position of lack and brought us to a position, I think, of neutrality. And then from there, I was able to grow towards abundance. But it comes in stages. You don't go full swing so many times. And you're taking that step where you're taking them from lack, maybe despair, maybe heartbroken, maybe just distraught with the lack of opportunity, to a place of stability and safety. Those kids are going to be game changers.
Yeah, they are.
Those kids are going to move the mountains and do things that we can't even imagine today. There's all kinds of conversations right now going on about artificial intelligence and AI. And we had Marky Lemons-Rawl at the next big thing, and then she came the next Friday. Mind blown, right?
It is.
But regardless, I think about that technology, regardless of whether or not you think it's going to work, it's not going to work, it's just a fad, it's another crypto, it doesn't matter what you think about it. I keep thinking about the next generation. We don't even understand the opportunities that they're going to create yet. Because I can't even envision where you can go with artificial intelligence and all the things.
Exactly.
And so to say we've taken this kid who might have been in lack, maybe moving from house to house to house, and we put that kid in safety and stability where their mom could love them and grow them, you've created leaders. That's what I see. So, I see it so much more than helping a woman into a home, which I love that too.
Yes.
But you're creating a generation of fighters.
Yes.
Because they feel the safety behind them.
Yes. And it is like that's it, right?
Yes.
And I feel like what we've always said is we start and focus with women. We want to change the whole world, but we start there because we know if they're changed, that next generation, that's what changes it. And so many of them, when they're filling out their application, when they're interviewing with us, that's what they speak to. We ask them, why homeownership for you? What is it? And they're always talking about their children. They're just like, what this is going to mean for my child to know homeownership is it means they're going to know it, and then they're going, and they're going to keep passing that, and all the things that they're going to do. It's like standing on the shoulders of giants, right? They're like, now they have something to shoot for, to keep going toward, and yes, all of them talk about that, and it's that whole idea of building generational wealth. Like it's like that's how you do it, and
So at the next big thing, we highlighted I have very core beliefs. One of them is being able to give away more than we receive. My husband and I are deeply spiritual, and we tithe, and you can take that for what it is. But we also believe that I literally believe that if I race to give it all away, God will race to fill it back up again, and I want what God fills, not my own. And so we were in this race to give it all away, and we had the honor of supporting another woman through the proceeds of the next big thing. Yes. So we wrote a check for $10,000, and I would ask everyone who stumbles upon this live, that watches this intentionally, to ask yourself, what are you doing outside of your personal gain? Outside of creating your personal stability, are you reaching beyond yourself and taking care of your neighbor? And what does that look like to you? And if you don't have a project, a compassion for something so deep that draws you and pulls you towards it, then I would strongly suggest that you spend a few minutes and research Mercy Tucker, Project I See You, and Shared Power.